right, everybody, we're gonna change things up a bit. We're gonna give you an inside look to some of the heroes beyond the flight line, i.e. our significant others, our spouses. So this series is going to be a multi-part series. We're going to call it Heroes Beyond the Line. Right now we're featuring our spouses, our significant others. We have Bubbles, Buttercup, and Nine.
It's still my favorite.
I'm guessing 9.
Take a wild guess which one's Nine. The Powerpuff Girls fighting crime. Here to save the world. No. But honestly, ladies, like we couldn't have done it without all of you from the support outside of what we do. And we can't thank you guys enough for holding it down while we're out there getting grimy and disgusting and among other things.
Yep. Keeping the home life together while we're away, taking care of all the essentials, the bill paying, the children, as it were.
Yep.
Probably the hardest part of that whole thing, I would say.
Right. The fur babies too and all that.
Yep. Just making sure it all flows smoothly so whenever we get back, it just kind of roll back into life, as it were.
Yep. So not just to you ladies, but also for all the other spouses out there who are holding the line, for all those who are having to go on the road, deploy, or work those hours that just might as well live at work.
So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'm 9. I
Nine.
am married to 6.
Hi, Nine.
Hello. Nice to meet you all. It's great to be here. We have 4 children. And we've been married for 8 years.
Oh,
Feels more like 50, honestly. Like
Yes,
it's just been
it
like a
does.
lifetime thing,
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Well, especially
feels a
as
lot more.
many places you guys have lived and moved around while you were still active duty, you know? Mm-hmm. Globe trotting.
Yep.
Yep. Traveled a lot. That's our little one. You wanted to say hi.
Hi, I'm Bubbles.
Hi, Bubbles.
Hi, Bubbles.
Excited to be part of the team here. I am the partner of Shoreline. We've been together for just at 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We've been best friends for 7 years.
All right.
He actually used to be my employee, so funny story there.
Ooh, well, don't worry. We'll go into that.
No kids, no fur babies yet.
Do you want one? I mean, a fur baby?
Yes, actively looking for
I
fur
have
babies.
We
want a little
super fat fur baby, just an hour and 20 minutes west of here.
Yeah.
We're actively looking for a little pitty. Super excited for that. Hopefully it happens within the next 3 months or so. That's the goal.
If you squint really hard, he looks like a pity.
You see the eye strain that happens and like the way that my life is set up. I can't always be like that.
She got enough eye strain as it is.
See, my work life and my my free time, the way it's set up.
Way my bank account's set up.
I think that's true for all of us. I would love to do things, but my bank account says no, for real.
3 to 5 business days. Yeah.
My bank account laughs at me.
More so than everybody else.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Buttercup, and I'm married here with MVP. Yay.
Yay!
The language.
We've been happily married for 9 years.
9 years, yeah.
Years. Hey.
Yay.
What is it after 10? Is it the Iron
I
Anniversary?
think it's called prison.
Well, what was it? What was it? The Spanish?
Oh, esposa?
Esposas.
Yeah, it means it means husband or wife. Well, esposa is wife or esposa. Esposo, yeah, and then but it also means handcuffs, which is
Handcuffs, yeah.
very true.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
It's
I've
gonna be a
been
good
married
time.
with this clown for 9 years, and we have
A really handsome clown,
a very
just so you know.
handsome clown. We
He
have
is
3
as handsome as he
kids.
sounds.
our oldest 9-year-old and 6 years old. Or
Soon to be 6, yeah, at the end of the month.
And our 2 boys are the 7 and 6 years old. And nothing. I'm here supporting him and the other 2 clowns.
Yep.
Really good looking clowns. I'm going to add that again. Just really good looking
Yeah,
clowns.
we're having a
We are as
blast.
handsome as we sound.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I definitely have a face for radio.
Well, you got the voice to match, so it's okay.
it's gonna be a good time.
And where are you from?
Okay, I was born
Originally.
and raised in Mexico, northeast Monterrey, Nuevo León. It's
All
like
right.
South Texas. I moved to California and I've been here for 15, 16 years now.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah,
Very cool.
He teach me English, and sorry, he's not a really good teacher. So if what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Get traes way.
Oh my god, yeah. So yeah, it's been great. Now I'm here in a podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Look
this
at that.
screen goes crazy.
Coming from old country to now being on a podcast
I
truly
know.
is the American dream,
Old
people.
country
It
to
truly
new
is the
country.
American
Moving on
dream.
up.
Well, and something special that she does is she handles a lot of our Facebook posts, and she
She is our digital media expert or manager or whatever you
No.
want to call her.
I don't do much.
She
Let's just share things.
bombards the face tubes and the Instagrams with all of our posts, our pictures, our
Yes.
just everything.
I just share things and
Yeah, but you find random Facebook groups that
random
like
groups that
nobody would have ever even thought to. She just types in random words until something pops up and she's like, no, that's cool. Share. You're like,
that's great.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, "Who's this crazy lady? Why is she emailing me or texting?" I'm like, "I'm sorry."
oh yeah,
it's
she
just
will.
a
She will
podcast
randomly
that I want
like
you to listen."
she'll find a thread and she'll interject herself into the comments section and check this out. And people are like, who are you? like,
Who let her in?
like what? We're talking about this over here. You're interjecting this podcast. She's like, yeah, I just thought you guys might want to check it out.
That's
But
awesome.
that-
And they're like, okay.
But that's how you get
Thanks.
into. That's how you become the fun in any club or party, right? Like we here, we're like,
Yes.
Yeah.
all right.
Or like the Kool-Aid man kicking the door. Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
That's what maybe that should be your call sign. Kool-Aid
Yeah,
Kool-Aid
I'm
man.
Kool-Aid
Oh
now.
yeah.
And kick the door.
smashing through walls.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God.
So what are some questions you guys have for your spouses?
All right, let's start off with what are the good things that happen while we're away? Like what are some of the positive things that you've experienced, or what do you generally like about me not being around?
Everything. I'm just kidding. No, it's for me. I think it helped a lot in our relationship because I learned to miss you, and it is. I think every marriage should go through it. Every marriage should have that little break of maybe a couple weeks without each other. For us, was months.
Months to years.
Yes. So it just makes for some people it breaks you, but for us just make us stronger. And it was like, all right.
I think when we met, we were texting each other for a month before we actually went and saw each other for the first time, and then we went out for dinner, and then I think 2 weeks after that, like we had hung out a couple more times, but 2 weeks after that, I left for 6 months,
Yeah.
and so we both thought like, meh, that's the end of that. It's nothing
Oh,
more.
I really thought like he's gonna stop talking to me. He just wanted whatever he wanted, in Vegas.
Which was nothing but good times and smiles.
Yeah. Before he left, he's like, "You want to go to Vegas?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." Okay. We went, and then a week after he was gone, I'm like, "All right, this is it." My dad was like, "I told you." I'm like, "No."
She's like, another white guy, another white
Yeah.
one. There's of all the Hispanics in the world, couldn't find one of them. You had to get the white one. But yeah, so then I left for 6 months, and I thought I was like, I told her I'd email her once I got to where I was going, say, hey, I made it, So I did. I emailed, but I expected no response. And then like a day later, I got a response. Then I responded again. And then that's how it went. That 6 months. Yeah. Just kept going. But neither of us thought it would go past those first few weeks.
And those
or whatever.
good gifts he will send me.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Those Amazon boxes showing up every month. I was like, oh, yeah.
I was thinking more of
He's
the
a keeper.
pictures. Well, back when money was good.
Yeah. When you deploy, it's good.
All right, Nine. Let's hear about you. What are some of the positives when I'm deployed or having to work those extra long hours on the line or in the office?
Not too much really comes to mind. I mean, it was nice, because I did miss you, and distance makes the heart more fonder. I mean, it was difficult with the kids, so I don't know if it was really any positive there since I did miss you a lot.
I mean, do you sleep like a starfish?
Oh,
like my wife, because then you can enjoy the entire bed by yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
part
even
was
when I'm
nice.
home, I sleep on 2 feet of bed and she gets the rest of it.
Yeah, that part was really nice. TV all to myself too.
Right. How about you, Bubbles?
Bubbles.
What are
Bubbles.
what are the good things when I leave for weeks on end?
Let me list them. There's so many.
Here it comes. Here's the roast.
I think that, and you and I have both agreed on this in the past too, that, we are people that really thrive on kind of being able to have our own independent time. And me especially, I really thrive on being able to kind of just be alone and sit in myself. And it really afforded me that opportunity. And I think we really saw it too with the pandemic of how we thrive on being apart so that we can learn to miss each other. Obviously, I mean, I don't think our sleeping situation changed much because you still don't get any bit of the bed.
No, I don't.
Well, when it was a queen, it was made for this queen. And then now that we have upgraded to a king bed, it's still made for this queen.
Yep.
And so, they're
They
that
just
too.
afford a little bit for the king. Is that what?
So,
it is?
so at
just
least
a
you
little
guys
bit.
have a queen. You know what she had when I met her that we had to
What?
share? Twin.
Don't share that.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
What'd you have?
We got.
We're here now.
A futon would have been nice, but it was a twin size bed.
No.
Her and my big ass trying to sleep on her. Halfway through the night, I just went down to the floor. Fuck it, Oh yeah, and there was a baby. Yeah, so then the baby would like crawl up in there too. And I'm like, hell with this. I'm just going on the floor. Then.
Yeah, he would spend a lot of nights on the couch, or he would come home real late and he would just go sleep on the couch because he's like, I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think also too, like, there is, when you're away, there's more romance of like, let me write you a little note and shove it under your door. Let me, I'm going to leave my credit card for you in a drawer. Go get your nails done. Like, let's do that again. Leave the credit card.
That's that love language, right? It's like
I told you. You know how long I've told you this. You know how long I've been looking for a sugar daddy, and you've been holding out. This is bullshit.
That was pre-COVID times. I was working a lot of overtime.
Bullshit. I demand. I deserve nice things.
I'm tired of being my own sugar daddy.
I'm
Damn
ready
it.
for my own sugar daddy. I'm ready for somebody else to take care of me.
I'm ready to be my own sugar daddy again. Don't get me
This is
wrong.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm ready for a sugar daddy too.
No,
he ain't leaving the credit cards no more. It's COVID times. I mean, I
hard
used to
times
get
for
paid. I used to get paid for the laundry. He'd be leaving me 20s.
Yep.
And it don't happen like that no more. But all of that when he was gone, so it was a good time.
So what you're saying is,
I mean, I didn't always love it. Like, there would be times where, he would just be working so much that I would never see him. And at the end of the day, like, he's still my best friend. And so, there are times where I want to spend time with him and I want to, go on vacation. I love to travel, and his job is very summer heavy. And so that's never a possibility. Yeah. But I mean, I also love taking trips by myself. So just depends, but he's a wonderful travel partner. So I like to explore that.
I mean, I've seen some of your posts on through his Facebook where it says get you a shoreline, and I'm like, I need to get me a shoreline. Tired of working. Tired of
I
working.
know, leaving 20s for laundry? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who leaves a 20 for laundry?
Oh, I would be making some money.
She would find them, especially during the times when I was working all the time and going to a lot of places where a lot of it's cash only type transactions, and so I'd have to pull out a bunch of cash, and then I would forget that I had the cash, and then I'd leave it in my pockets, and she'd give me anything that was 50 or hundreds, which wasn't often, but she would take anything 20 or below. So she did. She used to make bank doing some laundry.
Yeah, or he would leave it around the house, and I would be like, you've got a day to pick it up.
Yep.
You've got a day to pick it up.
Yep.
And he would just leave it. So
Her pants are like a slot machine. When she takes them off and she gets home from work, it's just change everywhere. Clank, 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 clank.
Jackpot. Jackpot.
I know. It's like, oh my, so many nickels.
Hey, but you at least get paid out every time you do laundry, right?
No, I just usually let the kids come up and like, hey, put it in your piggy bank, come and collect it. And like, it's like a pinata for them. Ooh, mommy's home from work. Clank,
she
clank,
was
clank.
making a hail on you. What do you mean you need a sugar
know.
daddy? You had a sugar mama right there.
Why do
You
you think
just
I look
didn't
the way I
appreciate
do?
it.
I got beat with nickels for the last 9 years.
So he's wearing the long sleeve, and he's still got bruises.
Yeah.
I best cover these all up so no one sees them.
She definitely doesn't beat me. It's really loving. I'm just so clumsy these days.
I push myself down the stairs.
I've just been a really bad person lately.
Oh, man.
So, what are some of the bad things about us being away, if there are any?
Yeah, there's bad things.
No 20s.
Yeah, no 20s. You got to come home for that, baby. No, I think for the most part, I love being alone, obviously, but then there are those times where, I will really miss you, and that sucks. And, I remember there would be times where I would tell you, I'm giving you till November, and like, you've got to get it together and like spend some time with me. And I think that's what it is too. It's that, like, yes, I do enjoy being by myself. And also like we got into this relationship so that we could build a partnership. Mm-hmm. And that's hard to do when you're not there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think one of my favorite things is that I do get the opportunity to see you at work and see you do something that you love to do. Mm-hmm. And the way that, you brighten up the room when you're doing something that you love to do, when you're mixing audio, when you're mixing sound or solving problems, like it's wonderful and it's refreshing to see.
I mean, look at you now, commanding the room.
Yeah, I know. For those of you that can't see, I'm the only one in the room standing because I have a kink in my neck. But
For me, me Kool-aid, I'm now.
Sure.
We can just change it every 5 minutes. It's fine.
You have the revolving door of
People are gonna be like, how many people are on this episode?
It's like
how many wives do you have? Do you live in Utah?
MVP, oh my God.
There's one call sign for every personality, right?
Yeah,
Which one are we dealing with today? You get Kool-Aid today. Oh.
we're like that. Remember that show we watched on Netflix? It was called My Three Wives or whatever it was.
Oh
and they
my
lived
God,
in
that was
place. You guys ever see that? That hole in the rock, Utah is where they lived.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways,
Okay. Oh, imagine having 4 of me. But
Oh.
look at his stupid face.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
yeah, the MASH theme song came like do 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 do. Suicide is painless.
All right. Well, for me, the hardest part was for MVP will always deploy on the mid-October, and he will come back home on
Like
mid-January.
April, May, June.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I was Halloween by myself, Thanksgiving, Christmas, his birthday,
New Year's,
New Year's,
2 of the kids' birthdays.
Dia de Reyes, which is like a Mexican, holiday.
Oh,
So
the Three Kings, where we eat
the
that
Three
giant
Kings, yeah.
bread and you have to get the
Giant
plastic
bread, and
Jesuses
you get
out
a
of it.
baby inside, whatever. So it was so hard, and at the beginning was okay, but then it started to get bad because we start having kids, And then now with social media, having Facebook and seeing all my friends with like hanging out with their families and going trick or treating with their husband, and I was always by myself, being pregnant, and he was always gone. And Christmas, his birthday.
I mean, I think for our youngest son, we found out you were pregnant, and I left for 9 months, and I came back a week,
Yeah,
just under a week before he was born. I was gone the whole pregnancy.
Yeah, and it was just so tough, really, really hard. And then every time he would leave, the next day or 2 days after, something will break in the house. I'm like, how? Why? Why?
Oh yeah, when the main water line busted and flooded the entire house.
The main water through like my house.
Oh my God.
Like I would get home with everything flooded, and
Like
I'm
2
like,
feet
who
of
do I
water in
call?
the entire house.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm half a planet away. You know what I mean?
And I'm pregnant, having 2 babies, walking, and it was just crazy. And I don't know how we did it. Honestly, it was hard times, but money was good too. We did a lot of fun things.
Yeah, I mean, when it was home time, it was like, all right, let's go out, let's travel, let's do something, let's
make the most of it.
let's make the most of it. I'm here because I'm only here for 2 months or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, say no more sugar daddies here.
I mean, I kind of felt that way because I didn't care. I was like that guy in the club. All I do is win, you know, throwing dollars around because I didn't care because I knew I was going to be going out right away again.
Exactly.
So whatever, you know.
Or is it like
Yes.
Ti, right? Like you can have whatever you like.
You can have whatever. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. And you feel like king shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
You feel on top of the world when you can do that for your family.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you know you're kind of at least for me, I kind of felt like a deadbeat otherwise. I'm like, oh well, we'd call from a Skype phone or something overseas or a satellite phone or email like, oh, this and this happened, and all I could do is like, oh, that sucks,
Yeah.
and wish I was there, you know, to help or do something. But what do you say? I mean, it's nothing you can really do. It's just
Right. And the hardest part was like he cannot talk where he was.
Yeah.
Like it would be super nice if he can tell me his day. Like, oh babe, I went to the store, something like that, you know, but it was so hard because babe, what you did? And he's like, oh, I can tell you. I'm like, then why do we talk? He was always like
Right.
about my day. Like, I want to know more about you.
yeah. She wants to hear somebody else's day and what it was like.
Yes.
Like my day was. She's like, my day was shit. So tell me how good yours was, you know?
And my
And
day
I'm
was
like,
shit
I'm like,
too,
I did the
like-
same thing. I woke up, I went to the gym, I went to work, and I went to sleep.
Yes.
What happened to work? I can't tell you that. Oh, what did you do in the gym? Today was upper body, you know, or whatever else.
Right.
Like what did you eat? Chicken, rice, you know,
Canned food.
yeah.
Lot of
Like
canned
the
food.
one deployment, all we had was cold cans of chicken noodle soup. So yeah, that was
Man.
Yes.
so the same thing again. I added Tabasco in it today. You know, but that's about all you can do. You know,
Yes.
you can't discuss anything else
Actually
that goes
had
on.
hot food today. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or it was crazy, like trying to send him things.
Oh yeah.
Like getting a box ready for him and knowing that it won't arrive for 30 days. It was crazy. Like, why are we doing this? Like, just stay home. Don't do it anymore. But it was the only option at the time.
So sometimes you just get the call and you just have to go.
You have
gotta
to
do
go. And always on the holidays. I was like, why they don't find another guy?
You'd even
It's
ask,
always you.
You'd even ask, like, hey, can I stay home the holidays this year? Like, I'll go out right now. I know I just got back, but I'll go out right now
Right.
for 4 months if I can just be back right before right before Halloween and stay through January. You know, like just let me home for the holiday. And they're like, well, we really need you over there. I'm like, well, you got this guy over here who doesn't even have a family. Send his single ass out on the road.
Yes.
Like, let him be gone for the
5
holidays.
5 years with the holidays for me. I would go to bed at 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Yes. On New Year's Eve, I won't even turn on the TV or look on Facebook. I didn't want to know anybody's life.
I mean, she would work 16-hour days at those times just to stay busy.
Right.
Like, because my mother-in-law would watch at that specific time was only our daughter. So she would stay with my mother-in-law and she would work 16-hour days just to stay busy.
It's hard. I mean, it has its good things like the 20s, you know, like you go through, but the credit card.
I think
but
what a lot of
hard.
people don't like to admit either, though, is that sometimes you really start to enjoy the time apart. Like you get so used to it that when you finally get back into it, it's hard because and especially as you know, being overseas, the world stops when you're over there. Like there's one thing, you're focused on the mission. There's only one thing to do. And you have the same routine every day. Meanwhile, the world keeps turning here at home, and like the music that was popular when you left isn't popular anymore when you get back. So you got to catch up on everything, but you're so used to being
Even your driving skills, like, do I have to teach you how to drive again?
I mean, yeah, because like some bases like I went to, I didn't drive for a solid year.
Oh,
I might have driven a tug, but that's just around the ramp moving planes or whatever. That's not highway driving. There's nobody else around. I didn't get into an actual automobile and drive it for a year.
Well, that was kind of like the opposite with me, where like I'm used to driving on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
So like I get used to driving that way, and then I come back here to the Americas, and like I don't know how to drive.
Yeah. But you get so used to the silence.
Yeah.
And so when you come back, and it's for me, and I still struggle with it, is noise. Like if it's really noisy or a lot of noise, it really bothers me. So like if the kids are going off the deep end and they're all just synced up and doing what kids do, right? They're just being themselves. But I struggle with it sometimes. Like I'm like, this is too much. Yeah. I can't deal with it. And she's like, but she's all, you know, and it upsets her because she's like, you just got home. Like the kids are all excited, this and that. I'm like, yeah, I just need like 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes, you just had 5 months, you know, what's going on. But it takes time to
acclimate
yourself back into society.
Right? Yeah. How about you, Nine? What's some of the negatives when I'm away, deployed or otherwise?
Everything.
Everything.
No. You know, it's just hard. Like, you know, when you have kids, it is hard to be able to do everything yourself, especially when we traveled a lot. So we were in different areas of the world. And, you know, especially when you don't know anybody, I think that's hard, you know, moving into a new place with your kids and you don't know anybody, you know, you're trying to learn the area and then, you know, your other half is gone. So that can be very, very hard, trying to figure everything out with kids. It gets lonely, but, you know, I think that was really hard.
What was the of all the places you've lived or had to move to following him in the Marines? What was the hardest place to incorporate yourself into that daily life? Country,
I think
state?
it was just our first move, and that was Hawaii. That was my first time on a plane.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was. So first time on a plane, and we just had our daughter. So a whole new experience. Everything was just new, you know, but I think I really missed my family. That was the hardest.
Yeah. So like I'm used to being like the isolated person where I'm constantly revolving door going and going and going. So I don't really have any like solid anchors or attachments. And she was very family oriented where like she had like some form of a family member within a 2-hour earshot of her. So we go from there to Hawaii where it is exactly what it is. It's an island surrounded by ocean with nobody that either of us knew. And then she has to like figure all this out on her own by herself.
Yeah,
and then when she's getting used to it, you are like, oh, let's move again.
Yep.
And it's like a mind game. It's like, oh, again?
Yeah, we moved to the East Coast for a couple of years. And just when she started getting used to it, I was like, time to go back to the West Coast.
Yep. And I think that's for anyone really that kind of a high revolving transition time, especially service members or certain industries where you got to go where the job is or you got to go where the demand is. And you get, like you guys said, you get used to a certain lifestyle. And by the time you get used to it, we're okay, time to go again, time to move on. And you have to relearn the whole thing all over again.
See, and for me, I've been on the move and traveling and doing everything since I was 18, you know? So now I'm the type now I get antsy after a couple of years. I'm like, something's got to change. I'm ready. Cause I was so used to coming and going all the time. There was always seeing something different, something new, experiencing something different. And when you get in one place and you're there every day and you go to the same job site every day and you come back and after a while, it starts getting like, I get antsy. I'm like, I got to move. I got to change. I want a different scenery. And she's like, will you just stop? Like, we got kids, we got a house, we got this and that. I'm like, but for me, I'm like, let's just out of the house and move. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like in our cases, right? We'll get a job where there's a home base, but you road trip like every 2 months, you know? And it can be anywhere from a day to 2 weeks to 6 months or whatever the case may be. You just constantly go. You here, you get your go bag, and you go.
Yep.
And you can be back anytime between now and never. You come back again, you restock up and go again. I can imagine for you ladies and for all the significant others and spouses out there, just how taxing that can really be to just have to have the go bag ready and just accept that you'll only see that person for
and never really setting up a home either, right?
Yeah.
Like, why unpack things? Because I know in 6 months I'm probably going to be moving again. So then when you're home every day, you're looking at empty walls, no pictures, some boxes stuffed in a closet or the spare bedroom, and you're just kind of like, I want to make this house a home, but I can't because it's not really a home. I'm going to be moving again at any time. So you never know.
right now, and you know all about that. Like how many we packed our house, like what 4 or 5 times, and some of it we still have yet to unpack.
Yes, actually, we just unpacked some boxes that we haven't seen since
2010, right?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
2010.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say in like the box we haven't seen in like a year, not a decade.
Some of them we actually forgot about it. Like, what the heck is in here? Oh, that's where that was.
Right.
It's
I've been
funny.
looking for this for years.
So it was fun. It was like an early Christmas.
Right.
That's true. I mean, how much stuff do you guys still have sitting in Guam?
Oh, shoot. We actually had to get rid of stuff. So we had 15 by 30 storage unit, 2 of them, matter of fact. At the time, we were just like, just get all our stuff. We're just moving. Put it in there. We'll figure it out later. And when we started to move again, we had to clean a lot of that out because we couldn't afford to keep it. So we only were able to afford 1 storage unit. We're going through it, seeing what's in it, and we're like, holy shit, we still have this? you know? But as of right now, I think we have 10 by 15 storage unit in Guam right now. That's
It's small.
just stuff that we have yet to unpack.
You ever going to bring that Harley over, or did it rust away already?
I don't know.
in the ocean?
It's probably a piece of shit now. I mean, I feel so bad. It's one of those, like, you have abused it so long, you actually feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
like when you hit a pothole and you apologize to your car, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm a terrible owner.
I'm so sorry, car. I know you're meant for this, but I'm sorry.
Well, if you ever get it over here, let me know. I know a guy.
So for real, no kidding. I probably will. You know?
Yeah.
It's but that moving price, you know. I need like 3 sugar daddies for that one.
No shit.
So any you out there want to pony up?
As I already said, we all need a shoreline.
I know. Leaving.
We sell feet pics on the low if we need it.
I mean,
Somebody will buy it.
Asking for a friend, what do those go for?
Well, it'll depend. So it depends on your market. So, and also depends on if you sell merch or not. But you can make up to about 80,000 a year
off of feet
I've
pics.
been
selling feet pics and dirty socks. Yeah.
I've been told that I am
Throw them babies in some mud, walk around a little bit, and you'll be all right.
I am told that I am prized in the bear community.
Oh, yeah. You
so-
would be. You should go for
I
that.
should need that extra 80 grand, man. I need that.
Yeah. But you could be your own sugar daddy.
It's still nice to have somebody else taking care of me, you know.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get Shoreline to sell them.
Like, I am a puta. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
like I need that. Yeah.
But that's extra work because then you gotta do all the dirty up. You gotta take the pictures, edit, and post it, and all that other extra craziness. I mean, kudos to all you guys who are out there who are hustling for that and actually get it done. But you know, that's
Seems like a lot of work to me.
a lot of work. Yeah.
Throw it up on your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm seeing another stage for the podcast. What do you think?
On OnlyFans.
Exactly what I was just
OnlyFans, and we take a picture of our feet and post it up there.
I mean, I probably won't use my feet. I'll probably like Google random feet pics and then sell it off as mine.
No, I'll use my own. I don't care.
I'm
I'll
fine
use
with
my
it.
own. I don't care. It's feet. We could probably buy our own studio next week.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm down for that. We even got the camera right there.
That's a dice roll in itself.
We can get a wide shot with that GoPro over there.
Oh, that's right. Get a panoramic feet picture.
So
We could even lock our toes together. Like we could, you know what I mean? We could lock it.
Whoa. No, that's cool.
You want to make money or not?
I tell him that all the time.
we're
Does
doing
he
this.
want to make money or
Yeah,
not?
we're doing this. We got to go all in.
Yeah. No, I'm for it. Let's do it.
all right. So I'm gonna flip the script a little bit. I'm gonna open the floor for you guys to ask us something.
Actually, I have one more question for all of you. What's one time while we were gone that you were so upset that we were gone, you just rage quit on everything for the day? Like you wanted to murder us, you wanted to murder everyone else. You just like what scenario or what happened in that particular instance where you were just like,
That's just her when I'm home.
just
Fuck everything.
your face pisses me off.
All right.
Do you have days like
all right,
that?
Bubbles, hit it.
Yeah. So I work in the nonprofit area, and I had a young person on my caseload. They were murdered, and he was gone, and I was just having such a shitty day that, you know, I typically won't tell my sister it, and I typically won't even tell him when I get home about it. But I just wanted somebody to be there, and he wasn't. And I was so upset. I was just like, where are you? And, you know, no, like, and I didn't call him. And like, typically he'll call me like after his days, like no matter the time, or call me in the morning when he wakes up. And I was just so angry. So I sat in my favorite corner in our couch that only I sit in. And I just like drank wine straight out of the bottle. And I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to do anything at all for the rest of the day. And like, I think it even took me like probably like 2 to 3 weeks to tell him what happened.
That's a pretty intense situation.
No kidding.
I'm not going to lie to you. When I asked that question, I didn't think it was going to take that turn. So I kind of apologize and sorry for bringing up bad memories because I wasn't expecting that.
I know.
No, I mean, I think in my line of work too, as sad as it is to say this, like it's a little bit in my normal.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
That is
Yeah,
very
you know,
sad,
it's a little bit in my normal of like, this is what my days are like, especially, you know, the past 3 to 6 months.
Especially the bad ones, you know.
Yeah.
A good day is I got a small win here and there, and a bad day is I had a client get killed or, you know, various other things. You know?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like, I think that's also why I'm so appreciative, because like he does have a more fun type of work that it like lightens up our house a little bit.
Sure.
So that's always nice.
Got the yin and the yang going.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely.
And something that I know we've talked about, it's and I'm sure you guys can attest to this. You know, especially for like you've done a lot of traveling mechanics and stuff like that. And I know for me, my entire job is putting on shows and concerts and stuff like that. So a lot of the times it's looked at as, oh, you're going to work, but it's not really work. It's a lot of fun. And
Yeah. All you're going to be doing is jacking around with your friends while you're working and
Right.
laughing and everything else. And just the thought of that alone pisses them off.
right,
That's what
especially
makes
when they
them
have a day
rage
like
quit,
that, you know, especially when they have a day like that, you know,
Yeah.
so,
You're going to where now?
Yeah. The sound of you laughing or just the thought of your laughter just sends them into overdrive. Like I will burn the state down. If I hear,
I don't care
if I
that
hear
you
so
got-
much as one giggle.
yeah, I don't
giggle.
care that you got to work with Biz Marquee and MC Hammer today. I had a really bad day.
Yeah.
Your day better match mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your day better be worse than mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Buttercup. Like, what's your rage quit? Like, this made me just hate everything.
For me, it was a time when we were living in West Virginia. For the first time in my life, I leave home, which is California for me, where my mom and dad are. And I went to follow him, and we were living in West Virginia, a very small town, Bridgeport. And he was gone, and I decided to finally go and get some groceries. And I went to a Walmart. And I was talking to my kids in Spanish. My kids are the whitest, have Mexican
They're almost
kids.
they're almost
using.
they're almost see through. They're so white.
Yes,
They're
they
almost
almost see
transparent.
through. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, have you
So-
seen mine?
I was talking Spanish to them, and this guy, he was very tall and ugly and very like from the mountains, and he
Say
said
a white trash redneck.
aloud. Yeah, he said aloud. I mean, I love West Virginia, and there are people. I mean, I love him, but this person said aloud, and he sounded very mean and looked at me and said, "Can't believe you're speaking Spanish to those kids." And I left all my stuff, ran to the truck, put my babies in the car, and I was crying to my way home. And I'm like, "Where are you? I hate this. I left everything for you." And I called him and I was just cursing at him. I got home and I think I didn't shower for 3 days. I was so depressed.
Wow.
My kids didn't eat nothing but cereal.
I was down.
for
I was
3
down
days.
working in Texas at that time.
Yeah, he was
and that-
working.
And there's no text, no phone call, nothing that I could do at that time
Nothing.
to make it better. It was just like
I was
it was you are the problem in my life. You
I was
caused
just
all
so
of this.
scared.
You're the worst for bringing me here.
Yeah. That was the time.
And that's tough, and the fact that you guys both grew past that attests that how strong your guys' relationship is. But that's hard being on the receiving end of either of those situations. Of course, yours where that was totally uncalled for, and then you where you're sitting there and you're like, I literally can't do anything
there's
to
nothing
make
I
this
can do.
better.
Yes.
I am 2,000 miles away, and
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had beautiful
Yeah.
neighbors, so
Yeah.
they all helped me, and they were all very sweet. So I'm so thankful for that.
That's awesome.
How about you, Nine? What was that one moment that just made you want to rage quit? Fuck everything. I just really hate it, and I need you here like now.
Honestly, I think I had a lot of those moments. It wasn't anything serious like what you've just heard. I think it's just because I tend to let everything just pile up, and I just have moments of breakdowns.
yeah. So you're an imploder, but you let it build all up until eventually you
Yeah.
can't implode on yourself anymore.
Right. And usually it was always when he was gone. It just, I had the last straw. I just done. I just want you here now, just mad at everything. And it was very hard. I think I don't know what would have done if, I didn't have my children. They really helped me through it all. Even my fur babies. During that time, he was always on call. So he was, even when he was home, he wasn't really home because he was always working. So even if he was next to me, it was like he was on another planet. So, it was just, but we stayed strong. And I don't see myself with anybody else.
Yeah.
I know sometimes it can be hard, like you said, even when he's next to you, he's on another planet. Because sometimes when you have to be turned on all the time, it's hard to turn off work. Like you're literally thinking about the next day at the end of the current day, because you're trying to make sure things go straight. And then they just were like, "Hey, shut it off. Be with us for 5 minutes." But we can't, because you're thinking, and it's that alone, like, can't you just shut it off and be with us? If you're just going to think about it, just go back.
Right.
Just go back to work.
Right.
Like, why
At least
are
get
you-
paid for it.
Yeah, if you're gonna ignore us, you might as well at least go get paid to ignore us.
Right. And I appreciate you, Nine, for sticking it out, especially for those times when I was on call. Those, I think, were the worst, the absolute worst. Is like, and I always get it at the most inconvenient time. Sometimes it's 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, we need you to go do this. Okay.
Yeah. Even if we had plans already,
Those were the worst. The
it-
worst.
It was just, you look forward to going somewhere, to spending time together for a couple days, and then one phone call can just ruin it all.
Yeah, you already invested the time and money for it too.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
like,
how many times can you guys count that you've been out to dinner, sitting down having a meal, and your phone rings? Why you answered, you don't know. I still don't know why I answered those phone calls at that time, but I'd answer the phone, and it's like, "We need you to get on the road." I'm like, "All right, so what time tomorrow are we leaving?" No, like tonight.
like right now.
Like right now. And I'm like,
right now.
"Well, it's 7 o'clock. Yeah, and you have a flight at 11. You're taking the last flight out that night out of Pittsburgh. And when we were in West Virginia, that's a 2.5 hour drive. So it's like, so I need to leave
Like now.
Now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I need to leave now. And it just totally collapses everything. Just
Yeah.
fine, go, I guess, you know.
Big old bubble popper.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's like the worst, the big romance killer. We were actually talking about this not too long ago. Like, just way to ruin everything. Like, just let your other life mess up our current one.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it's like. It's like you're living two lives. You got your life at home or the life beyond the line, and you do your best to keep it up, and then your work life or your second life just won't let you escape. Just gravity just pulling you back in every single time, and then you just, you got no other option. Just gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got to pay the bills, right? You got if you're active duty, you're pretty much soul is owned by the United States government.
Yeah, pretty much. Ladies, any questions for us?
Jokes, funny quips.
What kind of brought each of you to your own, and because you all kind of do something different, but it kind of, comes together and it blends. What brought you to your own independent, areas and fields of work, and what keeps you?
So I know for me, Shoreline here, I found out about even just that audio was a thing probably my junior or senior year in high school. Found out about the school that I went to, the Art Institute of Seattle, and I was like, that's kind of what I want to do. And then I was bouncing between motorcycle mechanics, truck driving, and that. And
Because you think you're cool?
no, cool, because I love to drive, so I was like, oh, that makes sense, and I like motorcycles, so that makes sense. And then I was a drummer, and realized very early on, like, while I was a pretty good drummer, I didn't have the routine to be able to keep up and practice all the time and make it big on that end. So I was like, well, what about the other side of the board? What do they do? How do they make this stuff happen? So that's how I ended up getting into that. And ended up with an internship and got into what I'm doing now. And then COVID happened.
For Shoreline, what's been your favorite show to mix?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
That is good.
My favorite shows to work is we do these festivals every year. It's called the Bite of Seattle, and same people do the Taste of Tacoma. What they are, they're free food festivals for anybody that wants to come to them. And they're wonderful, and they've really built a really good family. And that's actually where I got the name Shoreline, is at one of those festivals. And it is so much fun because you have so many stages, and you get to my favorite thing to do is teach. I love to teach people about what I do, because it's nobody really realizes, like, oh, this is a thing. This is what makes concerts happen. This is what makes shows happen. So anytime I can bend somebody's ear about, like, what I do, it's great. But on those gigs, we get to have a little buddy with us and say, and teach them how to run monitors or how to run front of house and how to do all these things. And so for me, I think those are probably my favorite shows to work. While you're not working with the best of bands, you are having probably the best of times.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know,
How about you, MVP? What? Same question.
So I always kind of wanted to be a pilot, and to this day, I still have never got my pilot's license. Just life gets in the way, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to, probably like every kid, I wanted to fly fast movers. I wanted to fly jets. I wanted to do the cool thing. And I didn't exactly have the grades in math to allow me to do that, but I worked at it and did well enough to test to where I could fly something. Could have been a flying shopping cart for all I know. I don't know. But so I went to, I applied to Annapolis twice and was denied twice. I wanted to go to Annapolis. I had a cousin who went there and great uncle who went there, and I wanted to go there and do that kind of whole thing and be a pilot. And it didn't pan out. I missed out on it twice, didn't make the cut, couldn't test into it or whatever else. I went and talked to all the branches, and all of them said, well, we can't really, I was like, another thing, I have spinal issues. And so they said, well, you can't really fly a jet because if you have to punch out, you'll die. Your spine will collapse, and that's the end of you. Okay, fair enough. I was like, well, what about like, I was like, well, what about helos? And you ain't punching out of a helo. And they were like, yeah, you're not really smart enough for that either.
Damn.
Okay. I was like,
They
well,
was roasting you in the office.
yeah, they were. And I was like, well, what about if I fly heavy, like a cargo hauler, C-130 something, you know? And they're like, well, that's probably more doable. But what we can do is start you out in here, which was nothing related to aviation. And then once you're in, we'll transfer you over. And for my two cousins, one's Army, one's Navy. And I talked to both of them about it. And they're like, that is the biggest fucking lie. Do not sign any paperwork. And I was like, fair enough. So I never signed up for any of the branches because I wanted to fly and I couldn't get into it right away, whether it be spine or I'm just plain dumb, issues. So that's fine. You can laugh. I know it. So I wanted to. So after that, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. So I did some plumbing and electrical apprenticeship for a while. And I literally got all the shit jobs, like wading through shit, doing sewer, whatever.
I remember that from another episode.
Basically, them telling me, like, I got all those jobs. The owner, the boss of that company, he was like, I'm going to force you to do something else. And then I remember seeing an advertisement for the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. And I signed up for that. I was like, well, okay. I mean, it's still aviation related. Maybe I'll get into that. And it was maintenance. So I went and did that schooling. And then that brought me out west with my first job. And why do I stay in it? Well, we've already covered that I'm dumb. But also,
That's all I could get.
And why I decided to come out west was at the time I wanted to get as far away from anything that I knew as possible. I wanted to go to a part of the country that none of my family had ever been to before. And that's how I ended up out here in this area. And I spent a lot of money on getting the license, and the certifications and all that kind of stuff. But it's been so long now, I don't even know what else I would do. Like, I mean, I have a degree in something outside of aviation, but I've been in aviation so long, it's kind of all that I know. And it's not been, let's face it, I mean, it's not been terrible. It's not been a terrible choice. We talk a lot of mad shit, but it's not been so horrendous that, because a lot of people are probably like, man, the way you guys talk about it, like, Christ, why do you still do it? Like, why do you talk about it then if it's so bad? But it's not been all bad. It's been a lot of fun experiences. I've seen a lot of the globe, a lot of places that other people, 90% of the people on planet Earth will never ever get to see. And so it's been interesting in that aspect. And I could still get my pilot's license, but just do it for fun at this point, not flying, military jets or whatever else. So
Yeah.
Nice.
and that's it for me. What about you there, Sace?
Seis. El Seis. So for me, I grew up watching a lot of team heavy programs, Transformers, Voltron, all that stuff, right? So I grew up wanting to be a part of a team so much, right? And what really got me to want to be inspiring, say, was my grandfather. He was never like an executive or a supervisor or anything like that, but just the way he walks into a room, people like instantly start liking him. Like he's the man in charge, even though he's like the next closest thing to a janitor.
Right. But he carried himself well, had a commanding presence.
Yeah, he just had that executive presence. Like, I want that. I want to do that. Right. So I decided to join the service. I went against my parents' wishes and went to join the Marines because I actually had to sneak out to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So I said, hey, I want to get off this island. I want to do something different with my life. I don't want to just go to college. Instantly got told, join the Coast Guard, join the Air Force, join the National Guard, something. And I said, all right, cool. I'm going to join the Marines. Instantly. Not even a split second. Not the Marines. By the time the M in Marines popped out of my mouth, not the Marines. Okay. But why not? And then, of course, the peak of curiosity hit. And then, like, why not? So I went. So I went.
Yeah, you were the epitome of don't do that. Oh, I'm
gonna do it.
I'm definitely doing
definitely
that.
doing it now. right? And it shows in my genetics, right? Anyways, so I snuck out. I decided to join the Marines, and they go, "Well, what do you want to do?" Like, I don't care, man. Just like get me off this rock. And I say, I don't care. I'll be a grunt. And I actually signed up to be a grunt.
Oh.
And what stopped me was I was only 17, so I had to get my parents' signature, and they didn't even know I went to the Marines. So I'm at school. My recruiter calls my parents, and of course they flip their shit. They call them. My recruiter calls me during lunch at school and like, "Hey man, can you come over to the office after school?" Okay, and I can hear my mother screaming over the phone.
Oh my God.
Right? And I already know like I fucked up.
Yeah. It was
So
at this
I
point
get
you knew.
it's like one of those kids where like you got suspended from school and you have to go home and like,
Yeah.
oh damn it. Long story short, my mother bitched it out, got real pissed at the recruiter and says that he will not sign up as a grunt. And the condition was she'll sign my contract if I do something else. And it's like, well, fuck it. I might as well just do something with my hands. So I signed up to be an aircraft mechanic, and the trade was all she wrote from there. But I was always looking to do something where I can inspire people. That was really my big drive, especially off of those team programs, is I want to be able to build somebody up, whoever it is, whatever it is. If I'm around you, I want you to raise up somehow, some way. And I think I did a decent job.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would think
I think
so.
I did a decent job. And I think going back to Bubble's question about what brought us all together is like we had those personalities that were so similar, but they filled the gaps of what we ourselves couldn't do. So like Charlotte here is fantastic with audio. We both suck at audio.
Well, sucks overselling it for me. I mean, is there like a negative number you can give me on that? Because
You just don't have any experience or knowledge in it. There's nothing wrong with that.
like I'm looking at the soundboard in front of me, and
All these blinking
Star
lights.
Wars comes to mind.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the Darth Vader panel.
That's exactly what it looks like right now.
But I think that's what really drew us together is we had a unified purpose that just jived so well, and we had the abilities that complemented each other. And it's like, well, let's just roll the dice. If it doesn't roll a 7, then well, we tried. We had fun, but
Yeah.
so far we've been hitting 7s and 11s pretty consistently. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and might I add, a lot of this is all, regardless if we wrote Snake Eyes, it's all because of you guys that makes it all really worth it in the end. Because if we came home and you guys didn't support us, it was at least like, well, we've kind of got shot down like right off the bat.
Yeah.
So,
You guys support the shenanigans for sure. By allowing me hours on the weekend to do this, or even coming over here right now to spend the day and recording face to face, like we are. It's pretty awesome. It's been pretty cool to do this, because if you didn't approve this, it'd be like he did when he joined the Marines. Well, I guess I got to sneak out of the house. Where are you at? I had to go to work on a Saturday. Yeah, it's really swamped. Just
it's really bad.
really busy. That things happen. I can't tell you, classified,
Right.
top secret.
top secret stuff. But I'll be home sometime.
Right. But really, it goes out to you guys a lot. You guys have been there since day one, the day oneers, or whatever the new slang is nowadays.
Ride or dies.
Ride or
Day
dies.
ones.
Yeah.
So the A1s, or like you said, ride or die. I'm just going to stop. Anyways, we wouldn't have done it without you guys. And for all the listeners out there, for the ones being the heroes beyond the line, just really sucking it up and holding it down for all the tech specs and veterans that are just out there doing what they got to do, knowing full well when they do come home, it's not completely as bad as it is at work.
So you know how they say hindsight's 20/20? Mm-hmm. So looking back at all that you guys have gone through with us being gone and you having to pretty much run it on your own, what would you have changed in how you operated if you had to go back and do it again? Or let's say it happens again in the future and the job takes me away again. How would you change? How would you change your mode of operation to make life easier or better for yourself now than what you chose to do before? Obviously the kids are older now, so that helps a lot, but what would you do differently?
I don't know. I think I like our routine, the way we did it. So it was just like pack, move, and let's go and do it. Don't even think, and just one day at a time, and that's it. And I think it's easier now because I think I have experience. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like take one day at a time and enjoy and try to make the best of it. And
So let's say,
like I always told you, home is where you at. And
yeah, home is wherever
Yeah.
wherever you choose it to be.
Yeah.
But let's say like think about when I used to be gone for six months to a year or whatever, and the things you did at that time and what you tried to make life as normal. You know, I know you try to get yourself into a routine so things go smooth or whatever else, but what would you change now? So let's say like, oh, every day I got up at this time. I got up at 6:30, but I had to be at work at 7. So I just got up and went straight to work. And then after work, I went and picked up the kids and came straight home. Would you say, okay, I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier and have a cup of coffee before I get out the door for the day and just enjoy that 30 minutes to
Yeah.
myself while the kids are still sleeping? And then after work, and say, okay, instead of going to pick up the kids right away, I'll go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'll go to the gym for an hour this time where I didn't do that before, or I'll go to the gym and I'll go to the store by myself after the gym or something like that, just so I
Yeah.
can, you know, I can focus on what I need to
Yeah,
without distraction of children or whatever else.
it's just hard, babe, because
Yes, you
if
don't.
I'm in a city that I don't know, with people that I don't know, no friends, it's just hard. It's starting from the beginning. Again, no friends, not a coworker, because I don't have a job. So it's just try to make a routine of it. And like you said, go to the gym, maybe put the kids on dance school and just try to make friends there, you know?
Yeah.
Just that is...
Hang out with all the other soccer moms.
But mentally, I think I'll be better because it is depressing, the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, it is very depressing. You don't even want to open a box, like we said at the beginning.
So what advice would you have for maybe some guys who are us 15 years ago, you know what I mean? And they're just getting started into it with their families and they're just getting ready to go away for the first time. What would you tell those spouses or significant others? What would you tell them?
It's not going to be perfect. Just go with the flow. If you have a company that is going to pack your stuff, cool. If not, just pack your things and move. Yeah. And rent one of those how do you call it?
No, I would not
No,
do
those
that.
are expensive. Don't do those.
Way too expensive
Way
for what
too
you get.
expensive
Yeah.
for what
Just-
you get. Yeah.
Just downsize. If I could do do it
Yes.
over again for the move, throw 70% of everything away.
Yeah. Just
Like,
sell
just
it.
don't drag it with you because there's no
Yeah.
reason. You can always, I mean, money's money, but money comes and goes. And you realize that once you get rid of 70% of your stuff, you really didn't use that 70% of stuff.
Just don't stress. Just go with the
Mm-hmm.
day, and that's it. Things are things, and they will go and come. But just take what's important: your pictures, your kids, and move on.
Very nice. How about you, Bubbles? What advice would you give for all the currently
all the young couples out there, all the young spouses. Although, let's face
I
it,
mean, I'm stuck at home all the time
you
right now,
guys-
so
you guys are- you guys
So
are-
maybe
you guys are
he
young.
needs to give the advice because I'm the one who on
my
days
advice-
on top.
my advice: don't go into the audio industry. No, I'm kidding. Just do the best you can at being present at home.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Because and it's not always easy, especially as we've talked about when you're turned on all the time and you have to constantly go. Because when you're forced to slow down, it's tough. It's tough to just go from working all the time to just stopping, and just try to work on that and try to be able to do that.
I think too, also like overly communicate your needs and like be very upfront and transparent and deliver communication in the way that your partner is going to receive it best. I think, especially for us, like I'm not a person who sugarcoats anything. And sometimes that means that like I've got to be a little bit gentle when I am delivering information because I want, my partner to be able to really hear me. hear me, see me, comprehend what I'm trying to say, and, validate my own needs.
You mean like yell at you in the same language?
Yeah, we don't
Yeah, you don't mix up languages when you're angry.
elevate voices.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, that's good.
Never. We never have. We have never elevated a voice at each other because that's not how we communicate.
Yeah.
And, for me, it's so important that he understands what it is that I'm trying to say, because I don't do hints. I don't do, inconspicuous communication. Like, I'm very direct. I'm going to tell you what I need from you. And, you're either going to sit with it for a second, and that's okay. And we validate that. But at the end of the day, it's how do we progressively move forward?
That's a good point, because for me, I shut down. If you're coming at me very hostile,
Same.
I don't do confrontation. I don't like confrontation, and I shut down. And I will remove myself from that situation as far as possible. And that means leaving the house. I'll disappear. I will get out of that situation. I don't deal with confrontation.
Well, I guess that's better than escalating it. You know what I mean? You,
But
disarm
sometimes,
by
And also-
sometimes it feels like they want it escalated.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes Latinas like to argue
Yeah,
for
for sure.
no fucking reason.
But that's why I take that to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you build that
Yeah.
that fire for
I'm
later.
thankful that she brings that to work all the time, so she doesn't have to bring it home. I'm thankful for that.
Right.
Hopefully there's another person in the room listening to that and understanding what's going on.
Well, I used to be a server. So
Okay.
my good face
Right.
and my smiles
Right.
were for my customers.
belong to work.
Yes.
the
So
shitting
when
on
you get
everyone
home,
gets
you don't
home.
want to be happy. You're like, no, I'm not serving you water.
Let me just verbally throw up on you
Yes, like,
as soon as I walk through the door.
why is my kitchen a mess?
So she's very vocal and loud, and I'm the exact opposite. I don't
yeah.
I don't respond to that, and so I remove myself, which pisses her off. But I'm trying to
Right.
get better about vocalizing, like you said, my concerns, and saying. So now she'll be like, "You're a little pissed off, aren't you?" And before I'd be like, "No, I'm fine." But now I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a little pissed off because you did this." Well, I know it's just me. I'm like, "Well, fucking deal with your own emotions. Leave me alone. Like, if you're pissed off and whatever else, I've done nothing to you.
Right.
I'm just existing at this point."
That only happens once a month.
In
Boo.
the same
It's only once a
In
month.
the
You
same
have to be
space.
nice.
Well, and I try to be sympathetic to that too, but by the same token, this isn't a new concept for you. This is not a new thing. It's been happening for quite a while, and will continue.
But something's working, so
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm trying to get better about. You did this. You're attacking me for this. I wasn't anything. I don't appreciate. I've done nothing to you. That's somebody else who pissed you off, and you're taking your aggressions to them
Yeah.
on me. Maybe because I don't say anything back, and
Yeah.
I don't confront you. But I was like,
Right.
but some days you're almost like, you want to get loud?
Yes.
Let's get loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have shitty days, like 15 people serving a party of 15 with very bad tip, and I get home and I work all day so hard for this, and then I get home and he's like, "Oh, babe, so happy," and I'm like, "No, you cannot be happy."
Yeah. If I'm angry, if I'm upset, we're all upset.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
upset.
And that's what I tell her some days. I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like we're just here."
Hey, but now that I'm not a server, I've been better, right?
Yes, more days you're better than.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's all about working, and that's really the key.
But it's one of those like, look, you're upset. Why don't you go disappear for half hour? Go deal with your emotions by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that we've actually found also is helpful. She's like, I just need to get out of here. Okay, cool. Go to the gym or something, and that does seem to help.
go
Once
abuse,
again-
go abuse the weights.
Once again, hopefully there's another party in the room
Okay.
listening.
For me, it's
and
eating. Like, can you order pizza right now?
So she's
you go.
she's the hangry person, and she knows she's getting hungry, but she expects you to know when she's getting hungry
you
and
should know.
to respond to it. But I'm like, you drove past 55 restaurants on the way home. Why didn't you stop?
I work in a restaurant,
There's
like-
a bag. There's
Right.
a yeah. You work in a restaurant. She's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, well, there's food 5 feet from you. I don't really want that. Okay, well, you're the walking distance to 6 others. Like, well, I don't really want any of that stuff. So your car is out there. Get into the car and drive someplace. Like, well, there's a bag of chips at home. And that's what the kids and I are having. So, bye. You know, it's one of those kind of things where it's like,
Well, let me tell you, I'm sorry, okay? No. Like here in front of everybody. I'm very sorry for all
See that? Look
remember
at
how
that.
we talked about bruises
Look
earlier?
at that. Look at that communication.
There's a reason I'm wearing
you're gonna
long
get it when you
pants
get
and
home,
long
huh?
sleeve shirts right
Why
now.
do you think he's wearing long sleeves today?
You guys have heard of an orange in a tube sock?
Oh man.
You gonna get it
You
when you
wonder
leave,
why I
right?
smell citrusy?
You have to level it up to the lock in a tube sock.
Wow, can we at least go to the bar of soap first? Like,
Hey, you're going full on metal.
Jesus, you're homie the clown. Bam! Homie don't play that.
No, man. But again, honestly, like it's all about being connected, communicating, right, and
Yeah.
working through it because there's always going to be those tension moments, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right. We're prime examples. You know, we're working through it ourselves.
Look at Bubbles. Like,
Say,
what you mean?
What you
tension?
talking about? What tension?
Tension my ass. The only
Right,
tension here.
So, you know,
is when I
so
put my
we're
foot in your
living
ass.
we're living alongside with you all, right? We're just giving you guys that moment, knowing that we ain't perfect either. You know,
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, pretty close.
Yeah, same. I'm like pretty top notch. He is grateful.
oh,
He is grateful.
let's not go into this moment. You know, I could cut you pretty good.
yeah.
He is grateful for the opportunity to see me every day. He'll continue to be grateful until I tell him he's not grateful.
Let's stop you there, Bubbles, because you know I'll let you climb that ladder before I knock you off.
Well, I will say it's been great having you guys, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. I definitely hope to do this again soon. Closing thoughts, anybody?
Well, once again, I really thank you, ladies, for supporting us while we're away, and for all those significant others and spouses that are out there supporting those people who are on the road, deployed, working the stupid hours, getting grimy, and wading through the pool of shit, so to say. You guys are really the ones holding it down. You're the real heroes behind the line, making life as homey and as best as possible, so that we don't just deal with two shitty lives.
Yeah,
at
it's-
beginning and end of day.
Right. Yeah, you get kicked around at work all day and drugged through the dirt. And it's nice to know when you come home after months and months of being on the road that you just assimilate right back in. Like the house is intact and things have been taken care of and nothing's been let fall to the wayside. The house flooded out and you had the entire house remodeled while I was gone. And then told me after it was remodeled. Like I didn't know any of that happened until it was already said and done. No, but it's one of
very
those.
cool.
It's one of those like, well, why you're over there? There's nothing you can do. Why worry you about it? Why
there's
cloud up
nothing you
your
can
day?
do over there.
Cloud up your day. I'll just tell you like, oh, this happened. Oh my God, really? Yeah, but the house already remodeled. It's already taken care of. What? Well, how'd that get done? Oh, I called the insurance. The insurance went through. But that takes months. Yeah, it happened.
You've been gone for months.
It happened 2 days after you left, and it was fixed 3 months afterwards. You've been gone for 8.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Math.
Yeah, and you're like, oh,
Yay, math.
yeah, but
Well, that's a cool surprise to come home to, too.
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Hey, the thing's fixed. Oh, perfect.
I didn't know the thing was broken. You know? Yeah.
All right. So we'd like to thank our patrons for supporting us, helping us make this episode, bring our spouses onto the show, and for allowing us to make these episodes. Have Shoreline here be happy to even help us make these episodes. We'll say that.
I think we've already learned he's grateful.
He is grateful. He is grateful.
I am grateful.
He is absolutely grateful. All right.
You just tell him how he feels.
Oh, he is so grateful. Oh, man. Just oozing with gratitude. Oozing. All right. We thank you all for supporting us. And again, check us out on cancelformaintenance.com. Check out our merch. Send us a line if you have some ideas for the show or you'd like to come on to the show. Check out our first sponsor, our first legit sponsor.
Yeah, first real legit sponsor.
Yeah,
It's pretty kick ass.
Rockwell Time is the name of the company. They make outdoor watches, some really swank and nice ones too. Some sunglasses, safety rated sunglasses, snowboard equipment, and so forth. Visit rockwelltime.com. Use the code CX, the number 4 MX. That is Charlie X-ray, the number 4 Mike X-ray. Save 20% off your purchase. Support us again on Patreon. Your support, again, helps us make these episodes, help Shoreline be happy to make these episodes, and bring on guests.
Grateful to make the episodes.
Grateful. Oozing of gratitude.
Just make sure we get that in there.
Yes.
Just got to fit it on in there. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.